Oh my goodness. Why do I feel a little nervous and anxious to be back on the mic solo? Oh, yikes. Hey, friend. Welcome back to the show. Long time no yap. Long time no chat. I have missed you. I have missed recording and chatting week to week. I wanted to pop in for a quick fall yap session because, as you likely have noticed, we've got a new name. We have rebranded the show subtly. Not everything has changed, but the name of the show has certainly changed. And I want to talk about that a little bit with you. And I wanted to pop in for fall and say hello to let you know that I have been recording episodes, securing guests, and having really profound conversations. And I'm excited for a new season to launch in January. But until then, I wanted to wish you a fantastic holiday season. Thanksgiving has passed by now, but Christmas and the New Year are around the corner. I hope that your holiday season is exactly what you need it to be. I know many of us, although this is a season of celebration for a lot of folks, there are many of us who are grieving the loss of loved ones, who are grieving and mourning as the world continues to turn, because there's just so much happening, so much meant to destabilize our nervous system. But I hope that for folks who are finding joy in this season, that you are finding it in the comfort of your loved ones, your family, your chosen family. Maybe for some folks, the holiday season is tough because of certain family dynamics. Whatever the case may be, I hope this season is exactly what you need it to be. I hope you're able to give yourself the comfort, the ease, the rest, the care, the peace that you deeply need and desire during this time. I hope that you experience the luxury and the privilege of being able to slow down this time of year. And if that's not the case for you, I hope that you are finding ways to create small pockets of joy for yourself, small pockets of rest for yourself in between everything else. Yeah, I missed you and I wanted to come yap with you for a second and just share with you that we're changing a little bit, friends. I'm not changing the overall theme and message of the show. If anything, I'm hunkering down on it. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the evolution of the podcast for folks who are new here or for OGs who have been here since the beginning and who are now going through a third transition in a very short period of time. But I will say this podcast is still very small in the grand scheme of things and in the grand scheme of podcasts that exist. And it's better for me to make up my mind and make these changes now than it be a really big show and have to go through a massive rebrand on a huge scale. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that. So for folks who are new here or for the OGs, you may have heard or seen, or you might recall the original name of this podcast, or if you scroll all the way back to the very beginning to those original episodes, you'll see a different image and logo. You'll notice that there were co-hosts, all of these things, and that iteration of the show, that foundational aspect of the show was known as Treatings Podcast. And Treatings was comprised of myself, Aliya Cheyanne, my sister, Tasia Marie, and my best friend, Michaela Ray. And we really had the idea of getting a podcast off the ground like a lot of people during the lockdown, during the pandemic. So we ideated a lot in 2021. We didn't launch until 2022, but it was something we all wanted to do. Like a lot of people found the hobby, the interest, the passion, the creative outlet of podcasting among all sorts of other hobbies and interests and creative passions during that time period. And it was really fun. I actually lately have been reminiscing a lot about those days, thinking to myself, like, man, I kind of miss those conversations on the mic. I very much still talk to my sister and my best friend all the time. basically every day, but not so much on the mic these days. I've been reminiscing a bit about that time and having the conversations, like keeping up a bit more with pop culture and what was happening in the news. Like, what was the culture talking about? Like, what were our opinions about that? And I'm still really proud of those conversations and those episodes. Like, whatever I said what I said. It's nice to have that archive of that time period in our lives and those conversations. And yeah, we went through an evolution even with that show. What had started out as like my vision of, I think at the time it was like a bi-weekly podcast, like on both occasions, both seasons, we barely made it to like 10 episodes before my personal burnout started setting in, or before like things started happening that got in the way of our production flow and a lot of things. And things shifted. Like when we first started out, it was audio only. And almost immediately, like seasoned podcasters as well as new podcasters in the space really started transitioning to video, which was tough in one aspect because it's different when folks are sitting in the same space having a conversation versus the way we were doing it and the way I'm still doing it on the show now, which is like remote interviews. You can try to make it as dynamic as possible with framing and different features that a lot of these remote recording platforms have, but ultimately it's not the same as being in the same space. And with video podcasting blowing up between our first season and our second season, we decided to make the shift to move to video so that we could have videos available on YouTube, but also have videos that we could turn into clips and use for social media. With that transition came a lot. Everyone didn't want to be on video first and foremost, and we worked around that. There were times some of us would be on video, some of us wouldn't. They would just chime in audio only, and we made that work. There were also like scheduling things that had come up a lot between the first and second season. Like all of our lives got busier at that point. The world started to reopen following the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown. People were going outside more, like we weren't just hunkering down like in the house doing the show as a pastime. So it got a lot harder to kind of schedule. And on top of that, personally, I was burning out a lot because I was holding a lot of the back end for the show with limited support around that, despite being a group of 3. It kind of started to feel like more of a group project than something we were all like passionately pouring into an equal amount. And I understand the nuances of like roles shifting over time. Like maybe some days some folks take on more than the other, vice versa, whatever the case may be. But it was never like that. I always felt like I was kind of holding a lot. And if I'm being very honest, there was a lot of resentment that started building up in me around that. So it would come out in ways of blatantly like asking for more help and that not really amounting too much beyond some support here and there. So then I also just got to the point where I was like, I'm going to stop asking. I'm going to stop doing as much. And of course, when that happens, things slow down quite a bit. So I felt like it was just kind of a reckoning for that iteration of the show, like what we had imagined it to be when it started versus what it actually was, which led to a transition down the line. We got to a point where it was primarily my sister and I recording, and a lot of things were shifting for us too between the second and the third season. My sister moved for a fresh start. We were both coming up against our own like personal challenges between season 2 and season 3. And a lot of things were shifting and just our overall dynamic was shifting too. So we had opted to like move through season 2 as best as possible. Like when we could all do it, we would in whatever capacity we could. But for the most part, my sister and I held down as many episodes as we could. I kind of ran into the same thing by like episode 8, 9. Like I was just kind of burning out. So we ended up taking like an extended hiatus again and then came back with season 3. And by that point, we had rebranded from Treating's podcast to the Prolific Hub podcast because At that point, it was my sister and I moving the show forward, but also we had this whole plan of starting fresh, like living closer together and really working on a business idea that we both had kind of individually, but over time kind of morphed into something we really believed that we can build together. And that was the Prolific Hub, which is a hub for creators and creatives. Like, think of it as a massive space where creators, creatives, people looking for fun things to do can come, and it's just a mega hub for all sorts of things like bookable private recording studios for podcasters, a bookable private recording studio for musicians to record their artistry, an open and customizable area that we could use to host events, whether those be yoga events or community get-togethers or community give-backs. Another area where there are booths and rooms available for rent for small business owners who need a space to do hair, to do makeup, estheticians, barbers, tattoo artists, all of the things. Just a massive mega hub of this space that is sustainable, that is reinventable, if that's even a word. I might have just made that up. Just somewhere for creatives and small business owners to just thrive. And that was our vision for the Prolific Hub. And I thought to myself, like, why don't we rebrand the show? Why don't we align the show with that vision for the hub? We can use it as an opportunity to gain insight from creatives, to talk to business owners, to learn from them, to help us to inform our own vision, to teach us things early so that we don't make certain mistakes, or like we learn and grow as creative professionals too. And that was the vision. We were on board for it. And then somewhere along the way, very early, it just fizzled out and didn't pan out. I think we did a couple of episodes or a few episodes together and with a guest for season 3. And then by like that 4th or 5th episode, something like that, it was just down to me because it just didn't work out. Like, the passion just wasn't there. The same vision just wasn't there. The interest just wasn't there. And so much had just changed. And I was like, okay, well, I basically been carrying the show from the beginning. Anyway, I know how to do all of the things on the back end. I know how to produce an episode. I know how to edit an episode. I know how to get it out into the world and do all of the things. Like, essentially, I have been doing it, so I can continue to do it on my own. But there is real like loss and sadness around that. Like, I was sad and frustrated and mad that things had changed so drastically, from when we first launched the show as Treatings to making this decision to shift into the Prolific Hub, and things yet again changing. I kept that name for a long time to have it kind of go and grow alongside the vision for the business and the work we were putting into getting that business idea off the ground. And then somewhere along the way, things slowed down on that front too. And I really had to take a step back and reassess what I was doing, why I was doing it, and what was going on, and what would make the most sense. So I have been sitting on the idea of changing the name of the show yet again for months, because at this point, I wanted something that aligns with me and my vision, since I'm the one continuing to do this show, and something that aligns with the conversations that I've been having on the show, either hosting those conversations solo or a lot of the conversations I've been having with the truly incredible guests that we've had on this show, who are brilliant founders, who are masterminds, who are entrepreneurs, who are creatives, who are truly charting their own paths and really inspiring others to do the same. I have had the privilege of talking to folks one-on-one, having one-on-one time with people who I might not otherwise have had an opportunity to connect with. And they have poured so much brilliance into me as the host of the show, but also into you as a listener. an opportunity to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel understood, to feel inspired, to really feel poured into and spoken to in a way that I don't think any other medium could or would allow me the same thing. That's why I continue to remain passionate to a degree about podcasting and why I've continued to carry the show forward despite the many changes that have happened since 2022 and the many changes that may happen again in the future. I really have been sitting on what would the right name be? What is something that encapsulates everything that I've been talking about? I've had a diverse range of guests on the show, but ultimately love lifting up and pouring into and highlighting the brilliance of Black women. And I've really been thinking to myself, what is a name that could really work for the show, that really captures where I'm at creatively and really aligns with the conversations we've had on the show? And I've gone back and forth for months talking with people in my life, including my sister, including my best friend, talking, even my granny, like really talking about what that name could be. Like when I've gotten stuck writing names out, toying around with different options, even defaulting to ChatGPT to help me really get clear on what works, what makes sense, what a potential name could be. And I ultimately really loved Muse and Mastery because I've been toying around with what that name means to me. I find inspiration in so many things. I find inspiration in travel. I find inspiration in nature. I find inspiration in loving and knowing my pet. I find inspiration in my family. I find inspiration by just sitting down with a hot cup of tea and being really present. I find inspiration through journaling. I find inspiration through connection with friends and expanding my community by like attending events and learning more about different people and different cultures and different practices to become better. I find inspiration in so much. So much of life itself is my muse. And I often love and think about and fantasize about the idea of me being a muse potentially for someone else. And I think this idea of mastery is important too. Not that I will ever be a master of anything per se, but I love the idea of the slow climb and the slow deepening of really sinking into your craft and really becoming an expert in it. And really going through the process of perfecting that craft in whatever capacity that means to you, whether that's going to school to learn about something, whether that's picking up a trade, whether that's picking up a new hobby or attending classes, whether that's going to YouTube University, whether that's listening to a million podcasts about a particular topic to the point where you are brilliant at it. You know a lot of facts about stuff. Whatever the medium is, like whatever the practice, whatever the devotion, whatever the craft, whatever the decision, I love this idea of inspiration and really honing in on your craft through the process of mastery, through the process of perfecting. And so it really came to me and I really toyed with.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey friend, if you're ready to deepen your healing journey, I created something just for you. My guided journal, Writing Prompts for Growth and Emotional Wellness, is filled with 64 powerful prompts to help you process your emotions, connect with your inner child, and move through your inner world with more self-compassion. You can grab your copy now on Amazon. Just search Aliya C. Brown, Guided Journal, or find the link in the episode description. Your journey toward deeper self-acceptance starts now. Now let's get back to the episode. The name for a while, it was Muse and Mastery, Creative Conversations with Aliya Cheyanne for a while. It was Muse and Mastery this. I explored other ideas like wise creators or trying to keep prolific in the title and saying prolific creators or prolific creatives. I explored so many combinations and so many options, way too many to talk about and way too many to list. And I have always come back to Muse and Mastery because I feel like it's so fitting for so many of the conversations, the lion's share of the conversations on the show, and the true mission of the show, which is to really allow creatives to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel ignited and re-inspired about the work they've been doing. Maybe to light a spark in a creative who hasn't explored many modalities in the past, but is now open to doing so. To help the person who maybe hasn't thought of themselves as a creative ever to learn that they are. It's literally our purpose on this earth to be ourselves and to create. We talk a lot about the different gifts that people have. Everyone has their own type of gift. That gift can be anything from being prophetic to discernment to being empathetic, whatever the case may be. But literally all of our gifts, the one thing that we all have in common from creation itself is our ability to create, is our ability to be creative, is our ability to be creators in our own right. And whatever modality you choose, whether that's podcasting, whether that's writing, whether that's filmmaking, whether that's art, whether that's sculpting, whether that's singing, whether that's playing an instrument, whether that's convening community and curating spaces that are profound and allow women to be seen, allow people to be seen and to find themselves and to know themselves more deeply. Whatever that looks like for you, it is our divine spark, our divine right, our only purpose to be ourselves and to create on this earth. And I hold that belief firmly and deeply. And I know that creation and creativity and being a creative looks different for all of us. And if I can be a part of that process where someone can come to this show and really feel seen and heard as a creative, or be inspired or find their spark, I would love to continue to use my gift of my voice, my gift of honing really powerful and important conversations to help someone else on their own creative journey. And Muse and Mastery really just felt aligned for that purpose. And I'm really excited about this new name. I'm really excited about how this name ties past episodes of the show and future episodes of the show together. I'm really excited about how connected I feel to this new show name. I'm really excited about what it represents. I'm really excited about the person I don't know who's on the other end of their listening device discovering the show for the first time and feeling locked in because this is the thing that they have been looking for. This is the thing that they have been seeking. I'm super excited about you listening right now. Whenever you started listening, however long you've been on the journey along for the ride of the evolution of the show, I'm really excited about what this name might spark in you too, what it might make you think, what it might make you feel in your body. And I just feel really excited about this. I haven't felt excited about a name for the show in the same capacity in the past as I am right now. I feel like this is the moment, this is the time, and it's time for Muse and Mastery to make its way into the world and for these conversations to continue to be uplifted and highlighted and for us to connect with our creativity and our creative energy in the best ways that we can and really align with that aspect of ourselves. I'm so excited that in this season of my life and in this era of the podcast, I have a name that aligns with my vision, my hope, and my dream for this show and the conversations we've been having, as well as the conversations I want to keep having. And I truly feel like this name reflects where the show and I are both at right now. this show has really come along for the ride the last few years, and so much has changed year to year. But my passion for evergreen content, my passion for the creative spirit, my passion for speaking with brilliant people who are really paving their own lanes has not changed. My fire for that has not changed. And I'm so excited for Muse and Mastery to be here. And I'm so excited that you're here along for the ride as well. The new name of the show feels aligned and purposeful and right on time. And if you have been a longtime listener or a new listener, I hope you're just as excited for this change. And I hope you love the show just as much as you did before and everything it will grow into going forward. So for now, friend, hosted by me, Aliya Cheyanne, Muse and Mastery is a digital sanctuary for creative thinkers, makers, and seekers. Each episode explores how we can live, create, and evolve in alignment with our purpose. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so proud of this show and its evolution. I am proud of myself for nearing 100 episodes. That is no small feat in the podcasting world. It may not be in the 300s, the 500s, or the thousands, but this show also shows longevity because many podcasts don't make it to 10 episodes. And I'm so, so proud of myself and this show. And I'm so, so honored that you continue to show up week after week, month after month, year after year. And I'm truly grateful for you. So with that being said, friend, again, this was just a small pop-in for the fall. I am in the process of recording new episodes for you that will be airing in the new year. I'm excited to be back in January, and I'm excited to meet you back here as well. I'm wishing you the best holiday season possible. Hold your heads, hold your heart. Do what you need to do for you, for your loved ones, for your community. Take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. I am wishing you a restful and easeful holiday season full of love and joy and connection and peace and everything that you desire. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be cared for, and may you never lose sight of your creative spirit. All that being said, I would love to know how you've been. You can let me know in a review. Please make it 5 stars and say something nice. Or in a text to the show or in a voice note. If you text the show or send a voice note, I have the opportunity to respond to those on the show directly. So please send in your thoughts, your reflections via text or voice note. And links to do so are always in the episode description. I will be enjoying my holiday season with my family, enjoying the slowdown of this time of year, and I'll be back in January, and I can't wait to catch up with you then. All right, friend. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Muse and Mastery. If this episode resonated with you, please be sure to tell a friend, and to rate and review the show wherever you're listening to it right now. Thank you for lending me your time, your energy, and your ears. I appreciate you for being here. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.